Hi everybody. I know I haven't been uploading a lot recently, and yes, we are in a new area. I'm in my chair, my new chair that I got not yesterday, but Sunday. I can't remember what day it is. So yeah, I just haven't had a lot of motivation to really post a video or read. We are still reading the same book, because there is about like 30 chapters in this book. So I'm gonna try and get back on my grind with this book because I think it's overdue. Actually, I think it's overdue in the library. So yeah. So this is where I'm gonna be recording from now on. I might start recording at like 7 p.m. Maybe 5. Who knows? Around 7 or 5, because I want to really I want to read at nighttime. You know, like a little bedtime story. If you guys like bedtime stories, but getting on to the book, we're still reading Dancers of the Dawn. And we left off, I can't remember what happened in this book. I'm gonna be so for real. I can't remember what happened. We left off chapter 9. So I'm gonna try my best to actually read. Why am I glowing? Hey! Anyway, I'm gonna try my best to read and not stutter. So yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh wait, chapter 9. The next week and a half Sorry. The next week and a half passes in a blur of rehearsals, training, and costume fittings. Now with only 1 week left, the Lornas and the arrival of Queen Sana and her royal court tenors nigh, everyone has exhausted themselves in their attempts to perfect their routines. Mealtimes are quiet as we seek out whatever energy we can get into our bodies before the next class, and sleep comes fast when it finally lights out. I follow the rest of the elite dancers outside for an afternoon of combat training with Sajid, followed by archery with Tahir. The same dusky hue paints the sky as it has done for over a week, but today it's more intense. The sun is a faded blemish behind the gauze of sand, and there is a shift in the air, a cool breeze swelling through the gardens. I never known a dust storm to be longer than a few hours, let alone a week or more. It has others' attention too. Some of the guards stare beyond the gates, pointing in the direction of the storm comes from. Tahir is with them, and when 3 horses are brought out by an attendant, he commands 2 of them to join him. At the gates swing open, and they gallop towards the horizon. What do you think about? I asked Sahib. I don't know. We're all absorbed by the guards, as more collect by the gates, but our view is soon obstructed by Sajid gestures us to take our positions for class. Today we will begin by running through your drills, he commands, and a hush falls over us. These are the drills you will perform for Her Majesty, at your graduation. You must execute them in Yujin and show you are a uniform faction of Amar's army. Understood? Yes, sir. Collect your blades. We do as instructed, then quickly reform our usual lines. Everyone bows to Sajid as one, and I am grateful to be partnered with Sahib. Today, as I turn to her and bow again. Begin. Sajid holds back from calling out the different moves, their timing and ingrained in our bodies as we sweep our blades up and around, away from our opponent, when towards them in a choreographed sequence not too dissimilar from a dance. Ever since Caleb made his announcement that Queen Sana will hold auditions for the role of Queen's Guard, I've been I've seen a fierce determination in Sahi. She's always been focused on the end goal and not easily distracted, but there's a new concentration in her features that I haven't seen before. I feel the force behind her blade as it meets mine, not to harm me, but to prove to herself that she can protect herself if the position she's trained for is taken away and she ends up on the front line. I see the same commitment in all the dancers, as the pressure of having Queen Sana in our audience pushes everyone to their limits. We may perform as an ensemble most of the time, but now everyone wants to shine as the soloist, even me. Not so I can be chosen as a candidate for the Queen's Guard, but to prove to our queen that I'm not a threat, that I am worthy of her army, that the fire within me will protect her country, not destroy it. The breeze picks up and the bells on my payal respond as it brushes my legs. I glance at Sajid, who's turned towards the gates. While we continue the sequence, his hand poised on the hilt of the blade that's strung on his belt. The leaves on the trees whisper to each other, a low rustle, and the birds signal as they erupt from the branches. Oh, excuse me. And disappear behind the west side of the sanctuary. One of the mistresses ushers her young students inside as wind weaves sand through the grounds in intricate loops. It's like it's riding a current. It almost looks unnatural. The sun's light is suddenly obscured. The sand whips at our bare skin, ending our drills. Sahi grabs my hand as the gates reopen, and more guards ride out. Disoriented, their horses buck and try to turn back, but their riders push them on reluctantly. I clutch my blade, tempering my flames as all move forward, and try to see what's happening. But the wind is restless and works against us. Strands of my hair are pulled loose, and I have to shield my face against the tiny grains that obscure my eyes as it swirls into view. The dust cloud. It spins on the skyline, a mass of sand lifted up from the dunes and turning over itself. Sahi grip tightens. Inside, now! Sajid shouts. We're all going to follow his orders as we try to understand what's going on. We've weathered dust storms before, but even I can feel unpredictable energy from this one. I said now! Sajid booms as we don't hesitate any longer, all dropping our blades and running back to school. Do you think we're under attack? Donna asks me. No. What makes you so sure? When we reach the steps, I look over my shoulder to the dust cloud spins on the spot, as though caught in a web. If we were, they wouldn't be keeping us in here. They'd be sending us out there to fight. Then why has a dust cloud alarmed them all? Donna asks, as a group of 10 guards rush past us and spread throughout the gardens. I turn to Sahi for the answer, but she has none. All students make their way to the dining hall, a guard calls out. Sahi pulls us through the crush of armor as more guards rally past us. We have to force our way up the steps, and panic rises in me, as I'm sure back to back with Donna and struggle to see beyond Sahi's hand in my own. Finally, we make it through the doors and into the main entrance, where a group of other dancers huddle into one. I spot Caleb in the gardens just as the large double doors are closed, and he disappears with the last slither of light. We are ushered into the dining hall, where sand sticks to the large windows, casting the room into an apricot glow. Attendants light their candles, but they do little to mimic the usual mid-afternoon sunlight. Someone needs to tell us what's going on, Donna says as we find a seat at the elite's table. A cacophony of confusion around us. It's just a sandstorm, Dua says. I don't understand why we've all been made to come in here, rather than finish our class in one of those studios. The same question circles my mind when I noticed even some of the mistresses looked bemused as they ferry the younger students to their tables. I place a hand on Sahih's when I see her picking at the raw skin around her left thumbnail. I'm sure they'll give us some information soon. She exhales and nods, but her eyes dart to the guards who station themselves around the room. This is what happened when Ramul before our village was attacked, I hear Mira say to Farah and Jasmine, who are sitting beside her down the table. The sky turned red in the middle of the day, as though warning us of the blood that was about to be shed. And then they came, the Mizri soldiers. They killed everyone. She has our attention, and the eerie silence descends over the rest of the elites as she speaks the words that most think and fear. The Mizris are here again. They must be. Her voice shakes, but anger thrives in her piercing gaze. She turns to me, and I sense the accusation before it hits. The war isn't coming. It's already here. Ooh. Something's happening. So we're gonna stop there. We're going to stop there. I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger because I can. I'm not going to read this either. Not without recording. I think I did better reading that this time. I didn't stutter as much. I tried to keep myself from stuttering. I tried to read slow. Don't look at the top of my head. That's none of your business. Okay, I'm sorry. But I will probably be recording tomorrow, depending on what I do tomorrow. But it'll definitely be around 7 p.m. because that's when it starts to get, like, dark over here. So, yeah. But I thank you guys for, tuning in, watching, listening to me read, even though I haven't been on. Or I haven't been recording for, like, the past month. So, yeah. If we're still reading this book by the time my school starts, because my school starts, August 6th, I'm pretty sure. So, if we're still reading this by the time my school starts, I'll try to find out how to post on my community tab. And Anyway, my mother came in. But yeah, as I was saying, I'll post a schedule once school starts back up and if we're still reading this book. So I have to go now because I'm going to Marshall's. So I will see you all in the next video whenever I post it. I'll see y'all later.